Hello again, Rebecca here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to the month of May 2021 Mixed Media Frenzy's YouTube Hop. Here's today's layout that everyone playing along will be lifting. I'm also the guest designer for May 2021 over at Scrapbook Your Joy, and this is my last layout using the Buenos Dias collection by Obed Marshall. So what better way than to celebrate with a hop? So I'm just showing you again the layout and all the pieces that I have picked from this fabulous collection that was sent to me by Scrapbook Your Joy. I will have that linked down below for the shop and the Facebook group if you would like to pick up this collection. I do have a couple of the regular 12 by 12 sheets, but it came in a Hip Kit Club, so I just stuck it in. But I've been using the paper pad. I actually like the paper pad because I can use the back. You know, it's white on one side, so some of the designs that I may not need two of, I have white cardstock. So I am just flipping through and pulling out some of the papers. And as you can see there's the picture to the right of the screen is my son in the yellow. It's Sam, and that is his brother, Austin. And that was a family vacation that we took in 2006 for my son's 5th birthday. We went to Florida and to Disney World, so he had a great 5th birthday. You know, when you turn a whole hand, you gotta do something special. So I am just going to use the back of that map paper. I have 2 of them, and I'll only probably need one, so I'm just going to go ahead and make the most of this kit that I have. So I am gessoing the paper because I am going to do mixed media. Obviously, because it's a mixed media frenzy hop. And because it's a hop, we invited all of our fabulous friends to play along. So not only will it be the regular Friday gang, we have lots and lots of friends playing along, and I will have everyone's link listed down below. So you can hop on over to their channels and see what they created. Now I'm going to do several different layers. I'm going to use the Dina Winkley gloss spray in cheddar to get my first layer down. The gesso is completely dry, so we're just going to sprinkle it onto the packaging, add a little bit of water just to make your mixed media go a little bit farther, and I'm just going to scoosh it down in several areas. I want it to be lighter and darker, and then I'm going to take some Nuvo Mica Mist in Aspen Gold and just lightly layer it over the gloss spray, the cheddar gloss spray there. It is completely dry because I don't want them to mix. I just want like a vein of shimmer running through the gloss spray. So then we're going to come in with the Dina Winkley gloss spray in lime, and I'm going to do the same thing, only I'm going to put it in a couple different areas. I was really trying to follow along with the lift and pretty much use the same colors, but they matched perfectly with this collection, so score one, right? So I'm just going to sprinkle it right in and around, and then I do bring in the packaging, and, you know, I'm trying to control my mixed media as best that I can. So the lime is a little bit lighter than I would like it to be, so I'm going to fix that by bringing in the Burtis Monroe Creamy Aqua Pigment in light green. Words are hard. You guys know I love Burtis Monroe, so anytime I can use it, we use it. So I do just take the eyedropper and sprinkle it right on top of the gloss spray, and it does give it the color that I'm looking for. And I'm going to come in with Nuvo Mica Mist in Fresh Pear and do just the same thing. I am just, instead of running the vein, I am just going to put it in the areas where I would really like to have some heavy concentration of color and shimmer, and then I will come in and just kind of squish it around. Now I have so much packaging, you guys, that I've been really trying to work through like everything in my scrap room, including all the packaging, because apparently I've saved it for years and years and years. So I no longer like wipe it off and clean it. I trash it as soon as I use it. So I'm going to trim my photo down just a smidge and also pull in some of the tissue paper that this kit was wrapped in. So like totally using everything that I got from Scrapbook Your Joy on this one. I am going to back my photo here in 2 layers of tissue paper just to kind of give it just a smidge of border before I put it, before I mat it with these other 2 busy pieces. And I'm just going to roughly cut that with my scissors. You guys know I do that because mostly I'm lazy and I don't feel like reaching for my trimmer and then, having to like precision line it up. Like this way, if it's wonky, it's like, well, I hand cut it. If it's wonky with a trimmer, then I just suck at trimming, just to be honest. So I do go ahead and get that trimmed off. And now I'm going to take this fun sheet right here, and it is just wide enough to give a hint of yellow behind the page. And I trim that off, and then I'm going to go ahead and just give a hint of the colorful cars behind for the third mat. And then we're going to be good to go with the picture. Again, just, roughly trimming them. So now I'm going to come in and use all these fun tags and pieces, and I'm going to, the inspiration piece, it was, the photo was the opposite orientation, so as I'm landscaped, it was vertical. So I'm going to try to make it work, and I'm going to stick some of these tags behind there. I'm going to cut them in half so I make it look like some long tags, and I'm going to get them popped down. Kind of doing this a little backwards. I'm building the photo cluster before I even have the page ready to go, and that is simply because it's still drying, and I was impatient and did not want to wait. That's honest truth. So I go ahead and move it just like a hair, right? Like, probably couldn't even tell. I'm not going to use the frame because I was basically just going to look like a piece of paper, and I decided to save that. This cute little cluster that is like a perforated tear apart for the 4 different banners, I'm going to keep them together and use them as another layer, and I am really digging it. I am going to pull out some twine, and I do grab pink twine. I know it's a boys layout, and it's yellow, green, and blue, but there are going to be some pops of pink because the embellishments that I'm going to choose have a smidge of pink in it. So I'm going to just go ahead and make sure that I pull the pink in some other areas. And I just like fold it in half again, and then a half again. I like my the twine that goes through my tags to be like super thick. It's just a personal preference. So I am just going to cut the loops so that it looks like a tassel. And now I'm going to come in and cut the branding strip off of these 3 pieces of 12 by 12. And I'm going to cut 2-inch strips. And we're going to do 2 of each. And I really have no idea why I'm cutting the branding strip off, but made me feel better. So again, another 2-inch strip. And the last one here is this green paper. Now this one I do have to cut the branding strip off of because I'm going to turn it. So that makes sense to me, but I'm not real sure why I did it the other way. Then I'm going to take them and I'm going to cut them into triangles, basically. So, yeah, I totally forgot that. So I'm just going to line up each corner. And then I decide that's not going to work. So I'm going to go ahead and mark my centerpiece there. And now I'm going to cut the triangle. I was going to cut them in diagonals, but then they weren't going to be like the big, long triangles, You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that makes any sense. This way made sense to me, so I'm going to go ahead and get that done. I do de-stress all the edges and run it through my sewing machine as well. I didn't make you watch me do all that because it did take me quite some time to distress those edges, and I just grabbed my Tim Holtz distresser and distressed the edges, and then I ran it through my sewing machine with some black thread. So now, since I have all the mixed media, I am just going to make sure I use some liquid glue, and I will be keeping my photo pretty much right there so I can see where it's going to go, and I just line it up and make those fun little starburst pieces. Obviously, it's too long, so I do have to, make some things work. I do believe that I went bigger than the original. So I'm using the liquid glue because obviously there's a lot of mixed media back there, but there is tons of embroidery going on. So I'm just layering them up. Now, yes, the center is pretty thick, but I'm going to fix that. I'm going to come in with some foam tape and go ahead and make that work. So I did go ahead and cut out some stars too of the remaining paper that I had left after cutting the strips because there were stars all over. So I just grabbed my star dies and I did those off screen as well. Now, if you've seen right there, I just took my pencil and kind of drew a rough outline of where the photo cluster is going to be. And I do not know why I keep saying a photo that way, but this is so that I can get all of this foam tape in so that I can make it the same level. And this is pretty thick foam tape, but I have 6 of those stacked, 6 of those little strips stacked on top of each other with thread through them. So I'm going to go ahead and double all of these pieces up because my photo still bends. So I'm going to pop all of this off and redo the whole process just to make sure that the photo will then be flat with the hump that I created there in the middle. So it's quite dimensional, but I absolutely love this. And yes, I did cover up a lot of the mixed media so far, and I will cover a lot more up because I'm going to put most of those stars on there. But, you know, the mixed media is just supposed to be in the background, you guys. It's not supposed to be the focal point of your layout. So it's okay to cover it up. Do not have panic attacks. I used to have panic attacks all the time. I'd be like, I did all that work and then I covered it up. And it was just like, but it gives depth and dimension and interest to your page. So while I am finishing doing this second layer of foam, I want to remind you that today is a hop over at the Mixed Media Frenzy Facebook page. I will also have a link to the page if you would like to join in and play along with us once a month on the last Friday of every month. We do have a fun hop, and it's usually something like a sketch or a lift, and you can interpret it any way you want. Some people just straight go rogue, and that's fun too. I used to do that a lot in the beginning. I went rogue. But anyway, I will also have all the lovelies that are playing along with us today, including the regular Friday gang. Their links will be down below, so please hop on over and give them some love, and definitely give them some likes and subscribe if you have not already. So I do just use a little bit more of liquid glue on there. Not real sure why, I just figured I don't want to try, since I have all that foam under there, I don't want to try to rip it all back up. So I just start cutting my bigger stars in half. And then I'm going to just start popping down and around. I'm just basically trying to not get the pattern papers next to each other. So, I mean, I know the greens at the top are, but one is like the bottom of the print and the other is the top of the print. So it looks different. I just don't want pattern on pattern. So we're just going to keep popping these around and get it to where I like it. I come in with my black pen and start doing the fun squiggly lines just to add a little bit more to the layout. I noticed that there was like stamps or something on the original image, but I just go ahead and do it with my pen. And that is a archival marker, so it will write and stick over the mixed media and not rub off. Now I'm going to grab some of the embellishments from the collection, and this is where some of the pink comes into play. I am just going to trim that one off and shove it right in this open spot right there. And I'm going to pop on some of these arrows and some hearts. Yes, I used hearts and stars in the same layout. I'm starting to love it. It's no longer giving me panic attacks, you guys. I guess you just got to go for it every once in a while. And if you don't like it, then you don't like it. These are the chipboard pieces, so I'm just popping them in and around. My video is quickly coming to an end. I want to thank you for playing along with us today and watching. Thumbs up if you liked the video. Click that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.